Today I'm going to can vegetables, and the vegetable I'm going to can is carrots. I'm going to use the raw pack method, and that basically means I'm going to put the carrots in the jar without warming them up, but I pour boiling water over it as a liquid before I can them in the processor. My jars are hot and ready, and I've got about 3 pounds of carrots that I've washed, peeled, washed again, and then just sliced up into like 1/4 inch slices. Okay, now what I'm going to do is fill each jar with the boiling water that I have over here on the stove. And again, we need a 1-inch headspace. I think I have too much in this jar. Move it around a little maybe. Okay. Okay, now that all the jars are filled, it's time to get the air out with my little handy tool. Gets all the air bubbles out. Just move it around the jar. The thing I like about raw pack is that you don't really need to heat up the vegetables, and to me I think it keeps them a little firmer during the processing time. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Once you've gotten all the air out, you'll notice that the vegetables can settle some, and you might find that you can add more, or if there's space, to add more liquid. Now I'm going to check the headspace with the end of this tool. I need 1 inch, and that's 1 inch. So I can add a little more water to this one. That one's fine. And that one's fine. So I'm going to add a little more water to this one. Now I'm just going to wipe the lids off, the rim of the lid, get it all dry. And then put my 2-piece lid and band on. And now I can tighten it, fingertip tight, and then it'll be ready to go into my pressure canner. Okay, so there's my 3 jars. They're ready to go into the pressure canner. Now I'm going to add my jars to my pressure canner. And you have to use a pressure canner because vegetables are low in acid and they need a high heat and pressure to kill all the bacteria. Okay, now I need to add water to my pressure canner. I'm going to use what I had left from my boiling water because it's already hot, and that just allows the heating process to go a little faster. I usually put my water about halfway up the jars Depending on how long it has to process, the longer it processes, the more steam it's going to make and the more water is going to disappear. So I just do it halfway up the jar and that should be good. Okay, that should do it. Now my pot is full of water, so I'm going to take the lid to my pressure canner. And there's some little grooves on here that fit into the grooves on these handles. You just kind of maneuver it on there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is turn the pot on. And I don't want to put my gauge on there yet because it needs to boil and vent for 10 minutes. So I'll come back and show you what that looks like. So right now I'm going to turn it on and wait for it to boil. Okay, my pot has steamed for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to put the pressure gauge on. And this is a 10-pound pressure gauge, which is what you use in altitude 0 to 1,000 feet. And I have a heat-resistant glove because I don't want to burn myself with the steam coming out. So now that's going to sit on there, and then as soon as it comes up to 10 pounds of pressure, then I start the timer for the processing time. And how you know when it's come up to the pressure, it starts to bounce and jiggle around and steam comes out of the holes. Also, the pressure canner, the little red button right there lets you know the pressure is built up in the pot. As soon as they seal, I'll stick them in my pantry. They'll be ready to eat.